Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillahi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in wa ba'd. So we stopped off on the bab husn al-khuluqi idha faqhu. And the last time we said the correct is faqhu and not faqihu. Why? What is the difference between faqiha and faquha?
Second one is like they understand.
يعني فقه is like فقه مسألة, but فقه صار فقيها. So what we're going for is we're going for the فقه. The نصير فقهاء. So we stopped on hadith 286. All right. So حدثنا عمر ابن حفص ابن غياث. He's another person. If you read through Bukhari, you read through, the books of hadith, you're going to see his name a lot. And if they just say Hadathana Umar ibn Hafs, you're just going to know Ibn Ghiyath. It should just pop in your head. I don't know why. It just should. All right. قال حدثنا أبي حفص قال حدثنا الأعمش قال حدثني ثابت ابن عبيد قال ما رأيت أحدا أجل إذا جلس مع القوم ولا أفكه في بيته من زيد بن ثابت رضي الله عنه. And this is about Zayd ibn Thabit because of the narrator of this author is Thabit ibn Ubaid. And Thabit ibn Ubaid is an Ansari. He's Mawla. He's Mawla Zayd ibn Thabit. So because he's the Mawla of Zayd ibn Thabit, of course he knows what goes on in the house, and he knows his character inside the house and outside the house. So he reported, he said, قال رأيت ما رأيت أحدا أجل إذا جلس مع القوم. He said that I had never seen anybody more like ajal. Ajal is like honorable, dignified, where the people have this high respect for him because of the way that he carries himself. Because he didn't act like a fool. When he was around people, he carried himself with dignity, with honor, and he carried himself with the appropriate manners and husn al-khuluq. So this was his behavior as he was amongst the people. He was a serious person, and he didn't joke around, he didn't laugh, he didn't, so the people didn't take him like a fool. All right, so he said, مَا رَأَيْتُ أَحَدًا. He said, nobody, I never saw anybody, أَجَلْ إِذَا جَلَسَ مَعَ الْقَوْمِ, if he sits with the people. So this was his behavior outside of the house. He said, وَلَا أَفْكَهَ فِي بَيْتِهِ. Afkah comes from al-fukaha. Al-fukaha, it means what? Yeah, like inbisat al-nafs. Like he'll joke around, he'll laugh. He's real lighthearted and real light. So he wasn't like, when he came into the house, he wasn't really super serious. Obviously there's rules and regulations, and he's going to be serious about that. But he would joke with his family. He would laugh with his family. And he would be real soft and kind amongst the people in his house. So you see, these are the two, the husn al-khuluq. Because again, you can't, imagine the majority of the people, a lot of the people, they do the opposite. They go out to the people and what? They're real joking and laughing and hi, how you doing, kind and generous and smiling, and then he comes home and he's like Adolf Hitler in his house. You know what I'm saying? He just comes in his house, al-Hajjaj, and everybody bow down, because get out of his way, because the steam train is coming through. Allahu musta'an. So yeah, it's a complete opposite the majority of the people. And some people, they're just they're just like that inside the house and outside the house. They have no softness and no care for nobody. Because whatever. But this is the behavior. We see like the behavior of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam with his family. He said, "Khayrukum liish, la ahlikum." Right. The best of you is the best of you to your families. You go home and you treat them with kindness, joke around with them, play around with them, but within the confines of a Sharia. Obviously, you're not going to go and go beyond the boundaries that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has set and joking and playfulness in the house. There still has to be boundaries, and there still has to be rules and regulations in the house. But, as long as that's being met, you're joking and laughing with them. Because you have to live with these people. Those people outside, you don't have to live with them. So it's easier to keep up this type of behavior of seriousness for a period of time and then and leave. Because again, the people outside, they don't know you. And they don't live with you. They don't know how you are. And a lot of the people, if you joke around a lot, they're not going to take you seriously. So you have to be, you have to have a certain set of behavior with the people and a certain set of behavior away from the people, And the same thing even with like a sheikh to his students. You see that the sheikh with his students, he'll have a certain type of behavior with his students because he's with them every day. They're in the classes, they're studying. But he won't have that same behavior if he goes out to another village or another town to give da'wah. You'll see him more serious, more proper, more, everything's real professional like this. And this is the nature of people, But we shouldn't go inside of our houses and turn our houses into like boot camp. It's like, having kids like scrubbing the floor with toothbrushes and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Huh?
Training camp.
Where everybody's like walking on eggshells in the house, scared to say a word or scared to do something or scared. That's not a home, akhi. That's a living punishment. That's a concentration camp, akhi. That's living in a concentration camp, So the father should be lighthearted with his kids. And the easiest way to get kids to do the things that you want to do is to do what?
Be nice.
Yeah, be good with them,
Or the fathers, they'll joke and smile and chit-chat with non-mahram women, but they act like jabbareen to their own wives.
Yeah, that's what we see nowadays. Yeah, people hate their families, actually. So when they go home to their family, they look at it as a punishment. They go home to their wives, it's like a punishment. So then that's what they mistreat them. They're not looking at it as a blessing. They're looking at the blessing. And this is again the sickness of the society that we live in, because you're constantly you go outside and you see all these women with immorality. And then if you're that type of person who doesn't have any level of taqwa, where you're perfectly comfortable talking to these women, laughing with these women, joking with these women, then you go home and what do you think? You look at your wife as she's as what? She's the enemy. She's the authority figure. You enjoy your time laughing and joking around with these girls, but this is what happens. And this is when you start to see all the divorce and all the chaos and all the scandals and all the stuff going on. It's because of all these people. Look at you see more scandals with these liberals that have no problem free mixing all the time. You see more scandals with them than you see with anybody else. Seriously. Like, look at the scandals that we have just over the last year and a half, 2 years. Just with these celebrity sheikhs. Allah Musta'an. Look at it.
TikTok. Ulama of TikTok.
Yeah, they're YouTube, TikTok, all that stuff. So. All right. So hadith number 287, inshallah. حدثنا. What?
You forgot to mention if it's authentic.
It's authentic. Okay. If I didn't mention it's not authentic, then it's sahih. Sahih al-isnad. حدثنا صدقة قال أخبرنا. Why is it صدقة and not صدقة? Because we say هو أعطى هو تصدق بإيش؟ بصدقة. Why is it صدقة with a dhamma, without no tanween here? Why?
Wait, can you say it again?
The first name in the chain of narration, حدثنا صدقة. Stop paying attention to the phone, man.
No. Because,
why is there a dhamma with no tanween? But if we say sadaqatun, we say it with tanween. So why is there no tanween here?
I'll do it tomorrow morning. 2 to 10, right?
Is it the name of a person?
No.
Yes, so it's an alim. Is there ta'neeth?
No.
Huh? It's the name of a man, but I'm just saying, is there ta'neeth in the word?
Like Tamar Buddha.
Yeah, it's Tamar Buddha. So then it's mamnu' min as-sarf. Wake up. All right. قال أخبرنا يزيد بن هارون عن محمد بن إسحاق عن داود بن حسين. داود ibn Hussein. All right, hold on. So Dawood ibn Hussein and Ikrimah. So Dawood ibn Hussein is thiqah. all of his narrations are accepted and they are authentic, except his narrations from Ikrimah. If he narrates from Ikrimah, the hadith is da'if. Alright, but this hadith, the chain of narration here is da'if, but the hadith itself, there's shawahid. So the hadith is hasan لغيره. حسن بشواهده. عن إكرمة عن ابن عباس رضي الله عنهما قال سئل النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أي الأديان أحب إلى الله عز وجل قال الحنيفية السمحة. So here Ibn Abbas رضي الله عنهما, he said that the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم was asked أي الأديان أحب إلى الله, which of the adyan, which deen, which path, which, because I don't like to translate the word deen as religion. It's not religion. Millah is religion. A deen is a path, it's a way, it's a, it's a road that you take, it's a path that you're on. So what deen is most beloved to Allah Azza wa Jal? He said, Qala al-Hanifiyatu as-Samha. Alright, al-Hanifiyya goes back to what? This is the Millah to Ibrahim. Alright? Al-Hanif, right? So al-Hanifiyya, because it goes back to one, this is the deen of Ibrahim. And it goes back to the meaning of al-Hanaf. Al-Hanaf in the Arabic language means what?
Like being fully devoted.
No, al-Hanaf it means al-mail an al-shay. Because because the person who accepts the deen of Ibrahim, he is muqbil ala Allahi wa ta'atihi wa mu'rad an al-shirki wa bid'i wa ma'siyatillah. Everything that goes against what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has commanded, he is mu'rad, yamila anha.
Millat Ibrahim.
Huh?
Millat Ibrahim.
Yeah, this
That's
is
the muqbil ala Allah wa ta'ati. That's the meaning of
al-Hanifiyya. Millat Ibrahim al-Hanifiyya. Alright, so al-Hanaf al-mail هو من أقبل على الله تعالى بطاعته وأعرض عما سواه. That means he goes and completely, it goes against any disobedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whatever that disobedience is, whether it's small, big, or shirk, or whatever. Alright, so he said, Al-Hanifiyatu as-Samha. As-Samha, it means what? Don't give me no Yemeni answer. Because it's forgivefulness, for forgiven. Yeah, don't give me the Yemeni answer. As-Samha, it means, Sahula, wal Yusr. There's no shiddah, there's no toughness, there's no roughness in this deen. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made this deen easy for the people to follow. So al-Hanifiyatu as-Samha, as-Sahla, al-Yusr. Because just like the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, in the deen Yusr. وَلَنْ يُشَاهِدَ دِينُ إِلَى غَلَبَةٍ. And nobody will go to extremes in this religion, except that the religion will overpower, is going to wash him out. Because this religion is made easy. If a person is fasting and he's traveling, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you ease. He said you can break your fast. If it's too difficult, if you want to fast, you can fast. If you don't want to fast and you're traveling, what? Break your fast. You're traveling and you got to pray. And it's dhuhr or it's asr. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you ease. You can shorten the salat. Then you can combine the two salats. You can combine dhuhr and asr. You can combine maghrib and isha. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you ease. If you're sick and and it's Ramadan and you can't fast because you're sick, Allah gave you ease. Allah has given ease in every single thing. But it's us that brings difficulty. So you see, and then look at the manners of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When we want to see the true deen of Hanif, we look at the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We look at his example because he is the best representation of the millat of Ibrahim. Alright. How was he with his companions? Was he harsh? Did he try to make things easy for the people? Did he always try to find an easy way for the people to do things? Did he always give them advice and softness, or was he harsh with them? Was he severe with them? If they didn't agree with him, then he just don't come back to this masjid ever again type mentality. So look at the people nowadays that claim to follow the sunnah and look at their behavior. Because again, this is the mizan. This is what we weigh ourselves against. This is it. This is what we're supposed to be. We're not going to sit here and take these statements of certain, individuals of the Salaf and misinterpret them and think that this behavior is correct. We look at the behavior of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and how he was with his companions, how he was with his family, and that's how we are. Now that doesn't mean that shiddah, like being severe, doesn't have no place in the deen. It has a place in the deen. It has place in the deen with the enemies of this deen who try to fight against this deen. It has place with the munafiqeen. It has place with the people that call to bid'ah and misguidance and try to block the people on the path of righteousness. That's where the severity comes in. But when it comes to the people, when it comes to the people who are trying to learn their deen or trying to practice their deen, or they're just normal Muslims, we have to have the softness with the people. We can't be harsh with the people. Again, that harshness is what drives the people away. يَسِّرُوا وَلَا تُعَسِّرُوا وَبَشِّرُوا وَلَا تُنَفِّرُوا. Constantly mention this hadith, right? Make things easy for the people. Don't make things difficult for the people. Find the things that they're able to do. Don't push them beyond their limits, and don't try to break the people. You're not trying to break them. Again, it's not boot camp. We're not trying to break the people down and rebuild them the way that we want to rebuild them. No, this is not special forces or something. What I'm saying? This is just the deen of Allah. And, all of us, we are, how can I say this? It's not our religion that we can do the way we want to do it and say the things that we want to say and treat people the way that we want to. Nothing belongs to us in this deen. We ourselves don't belong to us. What I'm saying? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take us whenever He's written to take us, because we belong to Him. And that's why whenever somebody dies, what do we say? Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. We belong to Allah. It's where, what's up?
Oh.
What?
Abdul Malik has visitors. Firefighter.
Somebody probably has to go to the hospital. Or somebody might need to be hospitalized. Is there ambulance or no?
Maybe on the way.
Call him up and see. Call him quickly. Make sure everything's all right. He's been having some problems in the house lately. Has he been on the chat or no? Huh? He's on the chat, all right.
I was talking to him yesterday.
No, call him and make sure everything's all right, inshallah. One second, we got action next.
Oh, they're going through the door. Should I really call him or not?
Yeah, call him. It's not a fire. It's obviously somebody's having some issues. I want to make sure he's okay. He's been having problems with people. In the house.
Oh, yeah. That's true. He said he's not home.
Huh?
He said he's not home.
What? In the chat?
Yeah.
Oh, he's not, didn't let him know.
Tell him there's firefighters at your
And
house.
Abdul Malik, you got a fire truck in front of your house, so if you're not home, you need to find out what's going on. At least we know that you're okay. That's important. Yeah, you got like firefighters going to the door of your house right now. All right. So that's the deen that we're supposed to follow. We stay away from the disobedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we remain, easy with the people. So, if you want to be harsh on somebody, be harsh on yourself, akhi. Save the harshness for yourself. That's where the harshness should be, Yeah, if you're going to be harsh, but don't be harsh even to yourself to the point where you drive yourself out of the deen, because you could do that too.
Could you lift up your table a little bit?
But if you are going to be harsh to somebody, be harsh to yourself. Spare the people. People don't need your drama in their lives. Allah musta'an. Make things easy for the people. Remind them of the things that they can do as Muslims, easy things that they can do. And then, just start gradually building on that, because anybody that knows, if you start practicing the deen and you start off like, all gung-ho, you end up burning yourself out. You end up burning yourself out. And how many people do we see, they get up and instead of just like, hey, you could get up and pray, 3 rak'ahs every night, 5 rak'ahs. I'm going to pray 13, and I'm going to read Surah Al-Baqarah in the first rak'ah, and I'm going to read Surah Al-Imran in the second rak'ah, and I'm going to read Surah Al-Nisa in the third rak'ah. Actually, how long are you going to last? How long are you going to last?
Like not even 2 days?
I'm saying maybe you last a week, maybe 2 weeks, maybe you have that type of strength, but you're going to burn yourself out. And then maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 years, if ever, before you even get up and start praying at night again. So even don't be too harsh on yourself. Is that police pulling up now? I heard sirens. What time's Salat al-Isha?
6:03.
All right, we still have plenty of time. Any questions before we go into
So yeah.
So all the hadith are Sahih hadith. All of them are either in Bukhari or Sahih Muslim, right?
the ambulance can?
Should we go?
No. I mean, yeah, because the firefighters are gonna come first before the ambulance. They're gonna get there first.
It has an attack next door.
Yeah. What? So here, can we take this? Here you go.
Are you sure?
I'm gonna show him this is what it looks like, Abdul Malik, so you can see what's going on right now.
On my reflections. Keep a little humble.
Check the what's up?
Yeah, I'm watching it.
Check because I can't see the Hamza. Check the
Someone said, Hamza, I see you, brother.
There's a video. What question?
Oh yeah. If a man is mimicking
Is the
the what?
is the screen all right?
Yeah, the screen's okay.
I just threw it anywhere. I didn't know.
There you go.
Hmm.
So like, if a man is like mimicking a statement a woman says, and he says it like making fun of her in a feminine voice, does that come to Shabbuh bin Nisa, the ruling of it, or no?
Inshallah.
No, inshallah, no.
Say if that is the case, I do that all the time.
I know, yeah. Why is the narration of Dawood ibn Hussein rejected if he's narrating from Akram?
I gotta go check that out. I mean, that's just what I got for now. You know, but I need to go back to. It's gonna take some research.
And should someone, when you talk to the awam of Ahlul Bid'ah, should you be soft with, like Ammi, should you be soft with him or no?
Should be what?
Soft with him.
I mean,
Is the Ammi.
yeah, he doesn't know what he's doing. Most of these people think what they're doing is from the Sunnah. Akhi. When you sit down and tell them, and you tell them that this has no basis in the Sunnah, because they don't know.
We can drive there, be salah.
Yeah, a lot of this stuff that they do, they have no clue that this is not from the Sunnah. You know, and then on top of that, even if they knew, they don't understand that like ibadah, like worship that's not from the Quran and the Sunnah, like these types of things is not accepted. They don't have that understanding. You understand? So it's a difference in, you know, how you deal with a person like this, like just a layman person who's doing bid'ah. He's doing acts of bid'ah, but he doesn't know what he's doing. And a person who's literally, he knows the truth, but he's calling to, you know, it's his desires and his love for wealth or whatever that causes him to go and, you know, go to other than the truth and call to other than the truth. That's a whole another different person. We deal with that person with harshness. Huh? The translator just one drop in the bucket, akhi, wallah. One drop in the bucket, akhi. We got like the vast majority of the masajid around America are run by these idiots. You know, that's just the reality of it. The people that have no knowledge, they have no qualifications in the deen to even be talking about the deen. And the people that are involved in the money and all that stuff, they have no qualifications to be involved with money in Islamically. Much less, they can't even manage their own money right, much less the money of that comes into this masjid, you know. So that's the reality. You see, like go every single masjid. You know, if you were to do an audit of every single masjid in America, whoo boy, oh boy, you're gonna have some issues. You know, and the only thing that keeps people from doing it is that auditing is too expensive. It costs a lot of money to bring in somebody to audit a masjid. I mean, they were going to do that in Jacksonville, boy. That scared the board to death, because they know once you bring in an auditor and that's now becoming official, and you got to disclose all the books, everything, where all the money is going. That's no joke, It's no joke. I guarantee you, you probably find a good 75% or more of these masajid, you find there's so much thievery going on. I would think it's much higher, much higher than 75%. Because most of these people are not qualified. The imam's not qualified to teach, and the people on the board of all these masajid are not qualified to be involved in anything Islamic. They shouldn't even be calling in the adhan in the masjid. They're not even qualified for that. So how are they going to be doing anything else? Then you got other masajid, wallahi. I've seen, because alhamdulillah, Allah has blessed me to, travel around a lot in America. I've seen boards, I don't even think the majority of the people on the board even pray on a regular basis, I seriously, I don't even think they even pray. So I guarantee you, when they're at home during the week, most of them are not even praying. But then they'll come on Friday when, to get money from the people. Oh, mashallah, he's all Islamic all of a sudden.
Even they'll even stop the khutbah before everyone gets up for the salah, and then they'll pull out the donations. I've seen it.
Yeah, it's crazy, Like in Jacksonville, we had like the board. They set up an Islamic school that they don't even send their kids to. They send their kids to these rich private schools, Christian schools and all this other stuff. They would send their kids to a Christian school before they send their Christian private school, before they send their kids to the Islamic school. Yeah, man. I mean, you see that all over the place, all over the place. You see it here, you see it there, you see it everywhere. So, I mean, the state right now is horrible. It's horrible. Like, these types of people, we have harshness with. We don't have smiles on our faces for people like this. For people that steal the money of the Muslims and misuse the trust and misuse the masajid for purposes other than benefiting the people in this deen. No softness with these people. Allah destroy them. What's up?
Hamid says, I think he was talking about the ulama at TikTok. It was manhaj TikTokiyya.
Yeah, they're not on the millat al-hanifiyya, they're on the millat al-tiktokiyya.
What is your name? Well, he also says, I got a question regarding those narrations regarding how the Salaf used to test people, tested people, the scholars of their times, and Sufyan and others. How does it work in our time?
I mean, you look at the scholars that a person follows. You're always going to know what the person's about by the scholars that he follows. But that doesn't mean that you're going to sit there with this one individual and say, well, if you don't follow this one individual scholar that, like, for example, some people, my sheikh is Sheikh Yahya. Some people, they might not agree with the way that he says things or teaches things, or they might not agree with him or some of his opinions. But they'll listen to Sheikh Salih Hussein, Sheikh Al-Uthaymin, other people that are known to be what? Salafi Sheikh. So just because you don't listen to Sheikh Yahya, what? I'm not going to talk to you. I'm going to disown you. I'm going to, do hajr or oh my God, don't get up and say that my sheikh made a mistake, that you don't agree with what he said. Oh my God, don't say that. You're on borderline kafir now. With a lot of people. Like, they literally will give you, they will treat you like a kafir. They'll not give you salams. If you die, they won't go to your janazah. Then they make dua against you all the time. Oh, I'm going to break his back. I'm going to break it. Because what? Because you don't agree with his sheikh?
The guy
This is ghalu, This is ghalu. I mean, what? What your sheikh is all... And then you tell them, if you were to sit down and actually have a conversation with them, if they would actually use their mind for 3 seconds, and you say, are you saying that your sheikh is never wrong? And they'll say, what? They'll say, yeah, of course my sheikh is wrong. And then you tell them, okay, give me one instance that you saw that your sheikh was wrong. I could tell you where, instances where where Sheikh Yahya, where he's actually admitted that he was wrong. I could tell you instances because I sat with an alim. They didn't sit with ulama. They go there with the asking questions and doing all this. Then they come back with the behavior of the kuffar. They don't have the behavior of the Muslims. They don't have the behavior of the people of Hadith, the people of Sunnah. They have the behavior of the kuffar, akhi. This type of hesed and, nah, man, that's British behavior, akhi. That ain't the behavior of the Sunnah. That's the way British treat each other. They sit there and they're all rude to each other and they won't talk to each other. No, that's behavior of the kuffar, akhi. That's not from the Sunnah. I don't agree with your sheikh, so khalas, Yeah, please, man. I disagree with my own sheikh. So what? Does that mean that I'm right and he's wrong, or he's right and I'm wrong? Maybe I'm right, he's wrong, maybe the opposite. Maybe I disagree with him and he's right. But it doesn't matter. The whole point is that there's only one person that we don't disagree with. That's it. And he's buried in Medina. Sahib al Qabr, right? Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's the only person that we do not disagree with. Khalas. Every sheikh after that, what did that was a statement of I think it was a statement of Abu Hanifa.
Imam Malik. He said I could.
No, I'm not talking about ila sahib al qabr. I'm talking about a different statement. But I think it was a statement of Abu Hanifa, rahimahullah. He said check it because it might not be.
إذا صار الحديث فهو مذهبي.
No. He said إذا جاءكم خبر عن الرسول فأقبله. إذا جاء الخبر من صحابته فعلى الرأس والعين. He said وإذا جاء خبر من التابعين فهم رجال ونحن رجال. And this was a statement that he made. And check it. Something.
خبر من الرسول.
I think he said إذا أتاكم وجاءكم خبر من النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. But he said if a statement comes to you from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you accept it. If a statement comes from the Sahaba, the Arab, they say ala rasi wal ayn, which means what?
With so much respect.
Yeah, with so much respect for the acceptance of this. But he said if a statement comes to you from the Tabi'een, he said if nahnu rijal wa hum rijal, and we're men and they're men, and we can all make a mistake. So that means we're not like Muslim, or we have to accept their statement. We have to.
Could there have been a hadith from a companion, even though, how there's been kind of like Sahaba, but they were, so they were with Rasulullah, but they were Munafiqeen. So.
No, but that's not Sahabi.
But then we could have got hadith from them.
No, because Hudayfa knew they knew who the Munafiqun were. They weren't taking no hadith from them. They knew who they were. No. It's not going to be accepted.
Is Sahih al-Khalij a good website?
Was that?
No.
I don't know. Did you find the statement? All you got to do is just go to Google, type in Abu Hanifa, call it نحن رجال وهم رجال. خلاص, you should find the statement. So the problem's going to be in the beginning. You want me to look for it?
I got it.
Huh?
I got it.
You found it? You sure?
يكون وجده ويكتب.
ها؟
يكون وجده ويكتب.
نعم قلت أنا وجدته. YouTube. Here, okay. You find it?
Huh?
You find it?
Did you find it?
The website's loading.
I've got it, but I'm gonna. All right, he said. قال هذه كلمة مأثورة عن الإمام أبي حنيفة رحمه الله حيث يقول ما جاء عن الله تعالى he said ما جاء عن الله تعالى فعلى رأسي والعينين. He said وما جاء عن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فسمعا وطاعة ومن جاء عن الصحابة رضوان الله عليهم تخيرنا من أقوالهم ومن لم نخرج ولم نخرج عنهم. Like, we don't go outside of their statements. Like, because based on, you have the Sahaba, but there might be, in certain issues, there might be ikhtilaf. All right? Like we found in Bulugh al-Maram with the issue of al-Mut'ah, in regards to al-Mut'ah with Ibn Abbas and what he, So we see that. But we look at who is the strongest statement, which is the closest in line with the adillah, and that's why he said takhayyuran, and that we choose the most correct statement that's most in line with the evidence, if there's ikhtilaf. But we don't, if we see there's ikhtilaf between the Sahaba, like this person says this and this person says that, we don't go out and find a third code that's outside of the Sahaba. You find one of those, you're going to choose one of those two statements with the Sahaba that's most in line with the Adillah. Then he said after that, he said, وَلَمْ نَخْرُجْ عَنْهُمْ وَمَا جَاءَ عَنِ التَّابِعِينَ فَهُمْ رِجَالٌ وَنَحْنُ رِجَالٌ. All right. So he said, in the translation, he said, whatever comes to you from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then فَعَلَى رَاسِي وَالْعَيْنِ. You know, that's it. You know, with the highest respect for that. The highest regard for it. You know, it's high, held in the highest of respect, right? He said, whatever comes to you from the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, فَسَمْعًا وَطَاعًا. And we hear and we obey. You know, it's upon us to take it and accept it and obey. He said, and whatever comes to you from the Sahaba, may Allah be pleased with them. And we choose from their statements, and we don't go outside, like I told you. Right? You know, we choose the one that's most in line with the evidence. And whatever comes to you from the Tabi'een, and he said, we're men and they're men. It means that any one of us could make a mistake. So we're, you know, at this point, you know, we're not like. So what about now, 2024? You're going to sit here and tell me that I have to take the sheikh, this the opinion of this sheikh? This is the only opinion that exists? Come on, please, akhi. And most of these jokers, akhi, they didn't study hadith. They're not, you know, if they were to go overseas,
Philosophy.
No, I'm talking about these the Sa'afiqa, akhi. You know, these folks that want to call themselves Salafi, but they, you know, their behavior amongst us, all they do is cause problems with the Salafi. They don't follow the Sunnah, because if you don't follow their sheikh or you disagree with what their sheikh said, if you disagree with Sheikh Yahya, I don't care, What I do care, I mean, it depends on what you're disagreeing what the issue is. If you know that if it's very clear that Sheikh Yahya is on the truth and you disagree with him just because he's Sheikh Yahya, okay, khalas, we have an issue. You know, but if you're disagreeing with him because you don't agree with his opinion, what, that's going to make me not talk to you? I'm not going to, you know, no, khalas, he's a man. He's going to, you know what I'm saying? Alhamdulillah. He gets things right, he gets things wrong. Why do we listen to him? Because he teaches, you know, he's trying to get to the truth. He's learning, you know, he's teaching the people the Sunnah. And I've seen it when people did correct him. He went back on his statement and changed it. You know, with no arrogance or no nothing. So, and that's that, akhi. But to sit there and like push people to like, you have to take from my sheikh, or you have to take what I, yeah, akhi, who are you? Who are you, akhi? You're like one step from working at McDonald's, akhi. Who are you? You're not a muhaddith, akhi. Nobody cares about you. You know these dudes like in Birmingham and all these guys, akhi. Who cares? Who are you? How many? None of them even sat with an alim for 1 year. None of them, except for maybe those dudes in the university. You know, but akhi, the head of the snake, akhi, didn't even sit 1 year. Akhi didn't even spend 1 year sitting with the ulama. All he does is go there and ask him questions and cause fitna, akhi. Like, man, I guarantee you, akhi, you sit there and go through any books of like hadith with him. Yeah, please, akhi, he ain't got nothing to offer to people. He ain't from the muhaddithin. So this type of stuff, akhi, not, man. Allah musta'an. What was it? All right, any more questions before we go?
Wait, you went off the phone turned on. Hassam says, Hamza, I see you, brother. He also says, can we work in a Canadian airplane manufacturing company that mainly make commercial plane jets, but also military aircraft and spy planes for U.S. military? But I only work on commercial side.
You're going to have to ask the ulama about that one. That's above my pay grade.
Abdullah bin Sadiq says, Assalamu alaikum, Ustad.
For all of them.
I have an request. Could you make a detailed video about the match, please? And I'm thinking about going to Yemen, but in hell, no Arabic. I think he meant, but I have no Arabic.
It
says in hell. It says in hell.
Oh, okay.
I think he means I have no Arabic.
Yeah, that's what it says.
No, there it is. There it is. Yeah, he says, okay. So should I go to Egypt first to learn Arabic? I have no Arabic. I'm planning to go to Darul Hadith, Uyush, in Aden. Would you advise me to go?
No.
Not to Aden?
Not the Fiyush, no. Go somewhere else. Go to, I mean, there's other Moroccans, alhamdulillah, not from the people that cause all this fitna in Yemen. Khalas, go sit with them, inshallah. I said, go to Hadramaut. Go to, I mean, there are other people in Aden. Like I said, Hussein al-Hatibi, alhamdulillah, very, very beneficial brother. Very beneficial brother. Strong in hadith, strong in the Arabic language, strong in tafsir. So, I mean, go sit with people like that.
Is he alim?
Huh?
Is he alim?
Up and coming.
You said Hussein al-Hatibi.
Al-Hatibi, yeah. There's no ulama, there's no alim in Fiyush. It's just a bunch of students, that's it. The only alim, if you're talking about alim, it's Sheikh Yahya, that's it. There's nobody in Yemen more knowledgeable than him, period. Khalas. That's that. There might be other individuals that might be more knowledgeable than the Sheikh in certain things. But as a whole, there's nobody. You sit there and listen to the Durus of Sheikh Yahya, there's nothing, I mean, seriously, man. I've sat with quite a few different ulama. I've never heard anything like the benefit that I got from his Durus. Okay, who is?
Oh, well.
Oh, okay, they're here. All right. So now, let's go to. All right, so Sharia, inshallah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. قال الإمام العاجوري رحمه الله تعالى. We stopped on 16. وحدثنا الفريابي قال حدثنا عثمان بن أبي شيبة قال حدثنا جرير عن منصور عن أبي وائل قال عبد الله رضي الله عنه إن هذا الصراط محتضر تحضره الشياطين ينادون يا عبد الله حلم هذا الصراط ليصدوا عن سبيل الله تعالى فاعتصموا بحبل الله تعالى تبارك وتعالى فإن حبل الله عز وجل هو كتاب الله جل وعلا. So this hadith, let me see, who is this? This is Abdullah ibn Mas'ud. This is Abdullah ibn Mas'ud. All right. قال عبد الله رضي الله عنه, he said, إن هذا الصراط, that this path محتضر تحضره الشياطين. And what is he talking about here? It goes back to the hadith that we took previously. What is it? Not this one, but the previous. Yeah, he said this.
وأن هذا صراط مستقيم فاتبعوه.
ولا تتبعوا السبل.
فتفرق بكم عن
Yeah. So he said that أن هذا الصراط محتضر, like it's you know, it's present, right? تحضره الشياطين, and the shayateen, they what you call it? They're present around the sirat, right? Yunadun, and they call out to the people. Ya Abdullah, O servant of Allah, halumma hadha sirat, come to this path. Like they're calling the people to go down the different paths that take the person off the what? Off the sirat al-mustaqim. And you see that. If they can't convince you to leave the path with what they have, whether it's dunya, whether it's money, or whatever, whether they try to get you with emotions, or they try to get you with their bid'ah. If they can't do that, then they try to peer pressure you into following their sirat. So if you're not with them, then they want to start calling you names, and they want to start, the people that are, this type of hezbiya type thing, where they try to peer pressure you by name calling you and making you, feel like you got to apologize to them and you have to go, this dawah mafia type garbage that you start to see nowadays. Whereas like if you're not participating with them and doing things with them, then obviously something's wrong with you, So here, if we're not doing the free mixing, we're not doing all these, fun, like going after the people's pockets. We're just trying to get the money to keep the masjid going. That's all we're trying to do. But these people you see, well, what do you see? These guys are raising money. All right, he's an imam in a masjid. Akhi, how is an imam in a masjid with the salary that he's getting, building a big house, having a nice car, And how is he sending his kids to the best private schools? Huh?
Harvard.
You know, and all these types of things. How is that? The Imam in the masjid. You know what I'm saying? So, again, and then if you're not participating with them and you're not doing what they say, those are the extremists. Those people, they're the ones that are, yeah, no, you're the idiot. Yeah, you're all the idiots. Y'all are going to be the ones that are going to see on the day of judgment. You know, so Allah musta'an. What did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? He said, وَسَتُبْصِرُوا وَيُبْصِرُونَ بِأَيِّكُمْ وَسَتُبْصِرُوا وَيُبْصِرُونَ بِأَيِّكُمُ الْمَفْتُونَ. Which of you is really maftun? You're going to see. You know, you're going to see it maybe in this life. If you don't see it in this life, you're definitely going to see it in the next life. But which of you is maftun? Is it you, the one that's calling the tawheed and calling to the obedience of Allah? Or is it them? Who's the maftun? You know, بِأَيِّكُمُ الْمَفْتُونَ إِنَّ رَبَّكَ أَعْلَمُ بِمَنْ ضَلَّ عَنْ سَبِيلِهِ وَهُوَ إِيش أَعْلَمُ بِالْمُحْتَدِينَ. And then what did he say? فَلَا تُطِعِ الْمُكَذِّبِينَ. And then don't believe what? Don't believe these people that lie about Allah. And you see these people that وَلَا تُطِعِ الْمُكَذِّبِينَ. And they are the mukaththibin. The people that call it, you know, that block the people from the Sunnah, and then they want to name call the people of the Sunnah. They're the ones that are causing the firqa, you know, the furqa. They're the ones that are causing this, right? وَلَا تُطِعِ الْمُكَذِّبِينَ. And then what did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say? وَدُّوا لَوْ تُدْهِنُوا فَيُدْهِنُوا. That, they would just love that if you compromise in your religion, they'll compromise with you. You tell us what you don't want us to do, we'll tell you what we don't want you to do, and we'll all compromise together. But when you stand up and you don't compromise, khalas. And these people, nobody's going to care about them in 20 years. You know, but this dawah is going to continue to move, with or without us. You know, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blesses us to be a part of it, then alhamdulillah, it's ni'mah. It's a blessing. But I mean, this dawah is going to continue. But that dawah that they're calling to, within 20 years, they'll be gone. Nobody's going to care anything about. Look at all these people now, and look what happens to them. You know, they go up, and then what? And then they crash.
Belly flop.
Yeah. So Allah musta'an.
Isn't the sabab nuzul for the ayah is when the heads of Quraysh were trying to offer the Prophet so like women.
Yeah, you worship our God. We'll worship your God for 1 year, and you worship our gods for 1 year. You know, they're trying to like get this trying to come to this compromise. You know, we'll do what you want us to do for 1 year, and you do what we want you to do for 1 year. No.
But the meaning is general.
Yeah, because we talked about this at Abu Fish. في عموم اللفظ وليس بخصوص السبب. So the khus, and this is what they try to do. But we have the actions of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Did he?
No, ever.
No. Even though he was facing persecution, he was facing all the problems that he was facing. He never compromised in the religion. So khalas. And they wanted him to compromise, but he refused. And then this is only because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala kept him like what? Thabit ala deen. You know, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, when كادوا يفتنونك عن بعض الذي أوحينا إليك لتفتري علينا غيره إذن لاتخذوك خليلا. So what does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say here? Oh,
Yeah, Surah Al-Furqan.
He's getting a little taste of the khutbah this weekend. He knows what it is. But he said what? He's saying when كادوا لا يفتنوك عن الذي أوحينا إليك لتفتري علينا غير. So they were just about to cause you fitna, because what are they trying to do? To get you to say something other than what was being revealed to you. What? لتفتري علينا غيره. You know, to say something that is not something that was not revealed to you. And then he said, and then after that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, he said, وَلَوْلَا ثَبَّتْنَاكَ لَقَدْ كِدْتَ تَرَكَنُوا إِلَيْهِمْ. But before that, he said, what? إِذَنْ لَتَّخَذُوكَ what? خَلِيلًا. If you had done that, if you had gone to what they wanted you to say, and you gone to what they wanted you to do, and you had made up something and said something that was against what was revealed to you, إِذَنْ لَتَّخَذُوكَ خَلِيلًا. Then they would have taken you as the most intimate companion. They would have been all buddy-buddy with you now. Because now you've gone down to their level. Just like what we see here with the different masajid. We don't compromise with these issues of free mixing. We don't compromise with these issues of that we see in the deen or the sunnah. But the people, they want us to do that. And if we do compromise the smile, there'll be all smiles with us.
Oh, yeah.
إِذَنْ لَتَّخَذُوكَ خَلِيلًا.
What either?
Huh?
What either?
وَإِذَنْ.
Yeah.
That's why I was making a mistake.
Yeah,
Because he
so
kept
that's
correcting
right,
me in the car. Yeah. He said, وَإِذَنْ لَتَّخَذُوكَ خَلِيلًا وَلَوْلَا أَنْ ثَبَّتْنَاكَ لَقَدْ كِدْتَ تَرَكَنُوا إِلَيْهِمْ شَيْئًا قَلِيلًا. And he said, and if it wasn't for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala making you firm on this deen, what? لَقَدْ كِدْتَ تَرَكَنُوا إِلَيْهِمْ شَيْئًا قَلِيلًا. That you would have what? That would you've gone over to them and you become softened up with them just even a little. But he said even that little bit, if you had done that, he said, إِذَنْ what? إِذَنْ لَأَضَقْنَاكَ ضِعْفَ الْحَيَاةِ وَضِعْفَ الْمَمَاتِ ثُمَّ لا تجد لك علينا نصيرا. So he said, and if you did do this, huh? Oh, I thought you were saying so. So he said, if you did do this, لَأَضَقْنَاكَ what? ضِعْفَ الْحَيَاةِ. We would have given you extreme punishment in this life. وَضِعْفَ الْمَمَاتِ. And then you would have also had extreme punishment, مُضَاعَف. Like your punishment would have been, multiplied. In this life and at the time of your death and after your death. وَلَا تَجِدُوا what? لَكَ عَلَيْنَا نَصِيرًا. You won't find any helper to keep you away from that punishment.
ثُمَّ لَا
ثُمَّ لَا تَجِدُوا لَكَ عَلَيْنَا نَصِيرًا. So this is a statement of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You understand? It was that thabat. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him that thabat. And without that thabat, then khalas. The same thing with us. It's definitely more so for us. Because, we're the most wibbly wobbly, flippy floppy people on the face of this earth. This is the messenger of Allah, so the best of all creation. So us, if Allah does not keep us firm on this deen, come on, man. 20 years from now, we don't know where we could be, man. We could be, running around smoking crystal meth in the street. We don't know where we could be. A'udhu billah. But it's that thabat, So like I said, this deen, this da'wah is going to continue on. And it's going to continue on until the day of judgment, with or without us. It's not because something special about us. This is a ni'mah. This is a blessing. But these people, their da'wah, come on, man. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned them. وَكَانَ أَمْرُهُمْ فُرَطًا. وَكَانَ أَمْرُهُمْ what? Furata. These are the people of desires. That their affairs are all to what? Dhiya. It's all to just waste. They're going to get all this money. It's all going to collapse on them. Now we're starting to see a lot of this, and back in the 80s and the 90s, it was the Muslims taking the masajid, taking the churches and turning them to masajid, and taking these buildings and turning them. Now the Muslims are losing masajid, They can't keep, we're actually, you go around America, you start seeing masajid starting to close now. So Allah musta'an, you can't even keep the masjid open. That's some serious disobedience. I don't know what sins you have to commit that you can't even keep a masjid open. But you're going to start seeing that. Allah musta'an, because these people they're not on the truth. They're not calling to the truth. There's no barakah in what they do. 20 years from now, who's going to care about them? Nobody. They're going to be gone and forgotten, and shaitan's going to already replace them with somebody else. Shaitan got somebody, pushed them out, and khalas. Now shaitan's whispering to somebody new. Allah musta'an.
Wait, so doesn't that ayah show the prohibition of being soft to the people of Shar? The ayah, so that does that show the tahrim of being soft,
compromising, and not speaking outside of them? Because this is amana, akhi. It's Quran and Sunnah, akhi. This is and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala explained the punishment for the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam if he not the punishment that he would if he had done that, which he would never do. And what did he say? And he said, no, it's not that one. إنه لقول رسول كريم وما هو بقول شاعر قليلا ما تؤمنون ولا بقول كاهن قليلا ما تذكرون تنزل من رب العالمين ولو تقول علينا بعض الأقاويل. If he had spoken any lies about us, anything that outside of what was revealed to him, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is affirming that what he's speaking is what? Yeah, it's revelation. It's revelation, because if he had said anything outside of the revelation, وَلَوْ تَقَوَّلَ عَلَيْنَا بَعْضَ الْأَقَاوِلِ لَأَخَذْنَا هُ بِالْيَمِينِ. Right? We would have taken them and snatched them up and seized them with the right hand. Huh? مِنْهُ بِالْيَمِينِ. We would have taken him, what? Bil yamin. And of course, the yamin is the actual right hand, but the right hand is also known to be the what? The stronger hand.
Oh.
So it would have been snatched up and seized the quwwah. So he said, لَأَخَذْنَا مِنْهُ بِالْيَمِينِ ثُمَّ لَقَطَعْنَا مِنْهُ الْوَتِينَ. What is that? Cut off the nerve, the main nerve to the heart. Would have cut that and sliced it off. Khalas. If he had ever said anything that goes against the revelation, which he never would. But it's just to show you that this would be here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is confirming that what he's saying is revelation. And that he will never speak out of revelation. But if he did, just hypothetically, if he did, this is what's going to happen.
وما ينطق عن الهوى.
وما ينطق عن الهوى إن هو إلا وحي يوحى. It's all revelation. The Sunnah is revelation, and of course the Quran, bilasha, the speech of Allah, revelation. All right. So Allah understand. Anyways, let's finish. So he said, ينادون Ya Abdullah, haluma hada sirat. Go, O servant of Allah, come to this path. لِيَصُدُّوا عَنْ سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ ta'ala. Because they want to block the people and call the people away from the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So then he said, فَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ تَبَارَكَ وَتَعَالَى. He said, hold fast to the rope of Allah. He said, فَإِنَّ حَبْلَ اللَّهِ عَزَّ وَجَلْ هُوَ كِتَابُ اللَّهِ. He said, because the rope of Allah is the book of Allah. Is the book of Allah. So hold fast to this.
Adab.
And hold fast to the book of Allah, because this is your only protection. This is your only protection. And of course, a part of holding fast to the book of Allah is what? Learning the Sunnah. Because you won't understand the Sunnah without what? You won't understand the Quran without understanding the Sunnah. Yeah, there are ayat, تفسر بعضها بعضا, as we see with the tafsir of Shinkiti rahimahullah, Adwa al-Bayan. But that's it's not a lot. It's a lot, but it's not all. What's not there is going to be interpreted in what? Through the Sunnah. So a part of holding fast to the book of Allah is holding fast to the Sunnah. They go together. So then he said, all right, hadith number 17. حدثنا أبو شعيب عبد الله بن الحسن الحراني. Al-Harrani, that's a familiar name, right? Who was also Al-Harrani? This guy named Ahmed ibn Abdul Halim ibn Abdul Salam Al-Harrani. You ever heard of him before?
Abu Abbas.
Abu Abbas.
Yeah.
Ahmed ibn Abdul Halim ibn Abdul Salam Al-Harrani. Have you ever heard of this guy before?
Shaykh al-Islam. Yeah, I know. That's why I said Abu Abbas.
Yeah. Shaykh al-Islam.
That's why I smiled in the beginning.
I'm just making sure that I thought you were smiling because you knew you were being set up.
Oh,
All right. So this is Abu Shu'aib Abdullah ibn al-Hasan al-Harani. He said, قال حدثني جدي. All right, so Abu Shu'aib is Abdullah ibn al-Hasan ibn, I forgot what his where is he at? He's Abdullah ibn al-Hasan ibn Ahmed ibn Abi Shu'aib al-Harani al-Umawi. Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah al-Numayri.
and this is also from Dimashq, right?
All right, so Abu Shu'aib is Abdullah ibn al-Hasan ibn Ahmed ibn Abi Shu'aib. So ibn Ahmed. Ahmed is his grandfather. Ahmed ibn Abi Shu'aib. So his grandfather is Ahmed ibn Abi Shu'aib. قال حدثنا موسى بن أعين عن إسماعيل بن أبي خالد عن المجالد بن سعيد. مجالد بن سعيد فيه ضعف. Let me see. Yeah, فيه ضعف. عن سعيد and الشعبي and ثابت ibn قطبة. ثابت here is مجهول في جهالة. So you got two illas here. You got Abu what's his name? Al-Mujalid ibn Sa'id فيه ضعف. Or متروك, I believe. No, he's just ضعف. All right, and ثابت ibn قطبة فيه جهالة. قال إن عبد الله بن مسعود رضي الله عنه قال في خطبته يا أيها الناس عليكم بالطاعة والجماعة فإنها حبل الله عز وجل الذي أمر به وما تكرهون في الجماعة خير مما تحبون في الفرقة. Alright, so there's I guess you could say it's a shahid from amongst us, from the narrations that came before this. That you could technically say that, like, Hasan bishawahidi, based on the narrations that went before, but the chain of narration itself is weak. All right. So Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, he said in one of his khutbahs, he said, "Oh, you people, alaykum bi-ta'ati wa jama'ah. It's upon you to remain in the obedience to Allah and to remain with the jama'ah, which is the people of the Sunnah." He said, فَإِنَّهَا حَبْلُ اللَّهِ, because this is the habl of Allah, this is the rope of Allah, this is what you hold fast to. الَّذِي أَمَرَ بِهِ, the one that He commanded people to follow. He said, وَمَا تَكْرَهُونَ فِي الْجَمَاعَةِ خَيْرٌ مِمَّا تُحِبُّونَ فِي الْفُرْقَةِ. He said, what you dislike, remaining with the jama'ah, like, you might be with the people of the Sunnah, and they're poor. Maybe they're a little bit rough around the edges as far as character, but they're trying to follow the Sunnah. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to do what they're supposed to be doing. So there might be things that you dislike about being around them, maybe some of the manners, maybe something like this. But he said what you dislike from the Jama'ah is better than what? Than what you love from the al-furqa, from the division. Because you go around these other people, these hizbis, they got nice masajid, they got good food, they got the pink hijabis sitting out in front of you, they got everything for you, man. You know what I'm saying? It looks like they got the whole dunya just there to offer you. They got the money, they got all this type of stuff. So you see the things that are pleasing to the nafs, right? That they have. But then you look at like the people of the Sunnah, and you're like, man, these guys are masakin. They don't got cars. They're taking the bus, riding bicycles. They ain't got food. They ain't got no nothing. They're just masakin. So what are you gonna do? The things that you dislike here are better than the things that you what? That you like over there. It's better to remain patient. Patient with the believers, patient with that situation, even if it means remaining patient in poverty, patient with hunger, and patient with even people with bad manners and bad whatever. But they're trying. They're trying, but they just they're weak. But it's a lot better than going over there and being patient with those people just because they got money and smiles and and good food and the pink hijabis.
Hello Kitty hijabis.
Huh?
Hello Kitty hijabis.
Hello Kitty hijabis. Yes. All right. We'll read one more, inshallah, then we'll save the rest. Maybe for tomorrow, after tomorrow. I think we got to do Bulugh Maram tomorrow, so inshallah. So number 18, وحدثنا أبو بكر عبد الله بن محمد بن عبد الحميد الواسطي قال حدثنا زهير بن محمد المروزي قال حدثنا عبد الله بن موسى بن عيسى الحناط متروك. All right, عن عيسى الحناط. I said Ibn Musa Ibn. No, it's عن عيسى الحناط. عيسى الحناط متروك. عن الشعبي قال كان يقول من أراد بحبحة الجنة فعليه بجماعة المسلمين. And there's a shahid from this. The shahid is a hadith that we took at the beginning of this chapter, which is the hadith of who? Hadith man?
Ibn Abbas?
No.
No, Ibn Mas'ud.
No, not at the beginning of today, at the beginning of this chapter.
No.
But he didn't say bahbaha. He said buhbuha. buhbuhat al-Jannah, which is wasat al-Jannah, ahsan al-shayf al-Jannah. It's Umar bin al-Khattab. That hadith. So that hadith was authentic. So, khalas. Meaning that, yeah. But this chain of narration is weak. Isa al-Hanat is mathruq. Alright, so whoever wants like the middle of Jannah and the best place in Jannah, فَعَلَيْهِ بِجَمَاعَةِ الْمُسْلِمِينَ, then let him stay with the Jama'at al-Muslimin, let him stay with the people of the Sunnah, the people that are following the deen correctly, and not go against them. Allah knows best. I didn't. You about to just turn it off?
Oh, really?
Did you turn it off?
Oh. I thought you were going to turn off.
You got ready to. Got questions? You in a hurry? You want to go home? I guess does everybody know why we've been absent for a week now or no?
No. On the live stream?
Yeah.
On the YouTube? No.
Anyways, man, because they had to redo the whole bath. Everything was wrong with that bathroom.
Oh, the bathroom. I thought you were talking about.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm saying they don't know why we haven't been. The people on the live stream don't know why there why there hasn't been a live stream. Yeah.
Is it better now?
Huh?
Is it better?
Dude, actually, they had asbestos. Like, like the flooring of the house has probably not been
Rotted?
It was rotted, actually. Everything was just completely rotted. And the problem is once he fixed the floor, then I started looking at the ceiling and I'm like, oh my God, it's just full of like black mold. So we gotta spray that down and then repaint that. I never paid attention to it before because I was too busy watching the floor collapse. So I never looked up at the ceiling. And then I started looking at the ceiling. I'm like, oh my God, that's not healthy. And maybe this is why we've been sick so much. But yeah, man, it was like asbestos in the floor, man. It was like,
Gas
huh?
mask. Gas mask.
Yeah, that was horrible, actually.
Did you get new tile?
Huh?
New tile?
Not from you. Yeah. Yeah. No, the whole bathroom is all new. Everything, except for the toilet. Because the toilet was already new anyways.
But did the tile in the bathroom?
Yeah. They put in a new shower. They took the whole bathtub out. Everything, took it all out. The sink, everything.
So you could shower in peace now?
Huh?
You can shower in peace?
No, it still fills up.
Ah.
There's still a problem with the piping.
Really?
Yeah. Because there's something wrong with the pipes, or like maybe roots are growing underneath the house, and it's blocking the pipes or whatever. It doesn't fill up like it did though. Yeah. So, but it still fills up. So alhamdulillah, that's why we've been gone for a whole week. Any questions?
Wait, are you going to? Abdullah ibn Sadiq said, could you make a detailed video about the Maj?
Like in what regards?
I mean, like telling you all about it.
Inshallah.
The documentary in a sense.
Documentary, come on.
Like a 45-minute video, or like 30-minute video. Fadi says, what should we do if someone asks us for forgiveness on their deathbed, but we don't really want to forgive them?
Actually, they're dying. I mean, look, it's if that person is transgressed against your rights, I mean, it depends on the person, honestly. If that person does not deserve forgiveness, like that person has been like an evil person, actually, I want my rights on the day of judgment, huh? But if you see, like, you get people, they're just, they're in the masjid, they come and pray, they try to do their things as Muslim, but they just fall into just oppressing people. Somebody like that, forgive him. Forgive him. I mean, the person's on his deathbed. What do you want? What do you want from him now? But I mean, you talking about some like straight up like Fir'aun type person who just like running around just like oppressing everybody. No, there's people like that have done things to me. I would never ever in this life ever forgive them. Ever. I want all my rights on the day of judgment. But there's a lot of people that I have. So. No, it depends on the situation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow! I'm not sure you really want to be asked this. Cyrus again asks.
He says this right, but then it makes me want him to read the question because I don't think you want to be asked this. It's like, what's the question, man?
Are you allowed to turn to cannibalism if it means staying alive?
No.
That's
No. In fact, I just read about this just recently. No, it's not permissible. It was, in fact, the person who spoke about this issue was actually in Al-Dawah al-Bayan, the Shinqiti. The Shinqiti, rahimahullah, because he wasn't talking about the issue of cannibalism. Wait, was it him? I need to go back and read. He was talking about the issue about the eating of the meat. About as far as eating the mayit, and what's the permissibility of it, what would be like a dead animal, because dead animals are not permissible to eat.
Not slaughter, just
Like you just like just like you found a cow that just died from natural causes or maybe got hit by a car. These animals are not permissible for us to eat. But if you're way out in the middle of the desert starving to death, now what's permissible for you to eat? And then this issue came up about the dead person. He said, no, it's never permissible. There have been some ulama that said, But no, no. Yeah, if it gets to that point, then join them. Join them. But to eat a human being, I don't like seriously, man.
It's like Amazon rainforest or stuff.
I mean, look at the state of the companions of Isa alayhi salam in the last days, when they're up in the mountains because of Ya'juj wa Ma'juj. And he said, well, just a Ras Thawra, just the head of look it up, about the hadith of Ya'juj wa Ma'juj, is more beloved to them than anything in the dunya just because of their muhasar. They go up into the mountains and Ya'juj wa Ma'juj, they got the whole area surrounded, they can't come off the mountain. They're starving, akhi, but you don't see anything in that narration of them eating eating the dead and eating each other and all this type of stuff. No, but they're at this point, they have no food.
Where is this hadith?
Huh?
Where is it? Bukhari?
It says, just type in وَرَأْسَ الثَّوْرَ أَحَبُّ إِلَىٰ أَحَدِهِمْ مِنْ كَذَا وَكَذَا, Just type that in, inshallah, you find the hadith. It's about Ya'juj wa Ma'juj. It's about the last days. And they're going to be there with Isa alayhi salam up in the mountains. And surrounded by Ya'juj wa Ma'juj. And then that's when Isa, he makes dua. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends a naghaf, like a worm that goes into the neck of and Isa and kills all the Ya'juj wa Ma'juj. And so when they come down, it's just dead bodies everywhere. But they're still hungry. They're not eating the dead bodies of Ya'juj wa Ma'juj either, are they? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends down the rain and then the stuff starts to grow back and the barakah gets returned to the earth. You find the hadith? It's a long hadith.
Can't find it.
What?
I searched it, but the rule, it didn't come up. I searched up وَرَأْسَ الثَّوْرَ حَبُّ إِلَىٰ أَحَدِهِمْ. A picture of a bull came up.
Well, stop looking at Google Images, akhi.
It's not Google Images. It's the first thing that comes up. Look at this Photoshop picture. It looks like the tortas. The polar bear. The Coca-Cola, yeah, dude, in the igloo. With the fishing ball. The seal comes up.
You just go in and type Hadith Ya'juj wa Ma'juj. Type in Naghaf. Hadith and type in the word Naghaf. That should bring the Hadith up.
Oh, okay. There we go.
This is actually a sickness too. It's a worm. That's crazy. Well, I didn't even know that. Now I'm just looking at because I just typed in the word Naghaf.
So Navav means worm.
It's a type of worm, yeah.
Because Navav means like how the Yemeni means like filthiness. غرفة النظيف. غرفة النظف.
No, that's the also that in Arabic you have the mutadad. You have nadif with the dha. Then you have nadif, the dad. That nadif, it means wasakh. Just like you have rajulun salih and you have rajulun talih. Salih, he's righteous. Talih, he's not righteous. So these are like the mutadad in the Arabic language. He said, وَيُحَاصَرُ عِيسَى بْنُ مَرْيَمْ وَأَصْحَابُهُ حَتَّى يَكُونَ رَأْسَ الثَّوْرَ لِأَحَدِهِمْ خَيْرًا مِنْ 100 دِينَارٍ لِأَحَدِكُمْ الْيَوْمِ. You understand? So he said that, and this is a hadith of Nawas ibn Sam'an. He said that Isa and his companions will be surrounded. And they'll be surrounded by Ya'juj and Ma'juj. They're on a mountain, so what are they gonna eat? Again, we're talking about not these mountains in North Carolina. We're talking about mountains in the Middle East. Like imagine you're stuck up on a mountain here in California. Not like, obviously not Sequoia or something like that, but like these mountains, there's nothing. There's no vegetation on them. What are you going to eat? So they're like stuck up in the mountains, mahasar. They're surrounded. He said, hatta yakun, and they're gonna stay in this state until the head of a thawr, the head of a bull, is more beloved, is better for them than 100 dinars to a person of you today. Because obviously in that day, if somebody gave you 100 dinars, that's the value of the head of a bull, with them, because they're so hungry, starving. He said, فَيَرْغَبُ نَبِيُّ اللَّهِ عِيسَى alayhi salam was habu. So then they start to make dua. Isa and his companions, they start to make dua. فَيُرْسِلُ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِمْ النَّغْفِ. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends this worm down in the رقابهم, in their necks. فَيُصْبِحُونَ فَرَسَا كَمَوْتٍ نَفْسٍ وَاحِدٍ. And they all just drop. They die. You know, all of them. And you got to keep in mind that Ya'juj and Ma'juj, akhi, is like, I don't know, like we're like, what, 9 billion? They're like 100 billion people. You know, like they're just like the amount. It's like, huh?
احنا ما بنكون نفس العدد. احنا ما بنكون نفس العدد.
No. They're going to outnumber us like,
أنا قصدي
it's not like 100, but it's going to be like about, it's like 7 to 1, akhi. So for every one of us, but there's 7 of them, akhi. Come on, that's like 63 billion of them or more. Look how many, look at the ratio.
أنا قصدي
Ya'juj and Ma'juj. Come عدد Ya'juj and Ma'juj إلى الإنسان. Like, look, huh?
أنا قصدي إن احنا الآن نتكلم يعني بعض الحرب على 100 ثالثة وبعض المسيح الدجال. يعني كده عدد الإنس بيكون أقل.
No, بلا شك. Ya'juj and Ma'juj is going to be coming over every single part of the horizon, every area. They're coming over. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that in the Quran. وَمِنْ كُلِّ حَدَبٍ what? يَنْسِلُونَ. Like they're coming over every single pass. The whole earth, around the whole earth. That's a lot of people, man. That's a lot of people. And they're just killing everything in their way. Everything. There's no, even to the point where Isa and his followers, like, there's no way that we can go against them. So they go to the mountains. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands them to go to the mountains. And they go to the mountains. So he said after this, he said, وَأَصْحَابُ إِلَى الْأَرْضِ فَلَا يَجِدُونَ. He said, no. ثُمَّ يَحْبِطُ نَبِيُّ اللَّهِ عِيسَى عَلَيْهِ السَّلَامُ وَأَصْحَابُهُ إِلَى الْأَرْضِ. And then Isa and his companions, they're going to go down to they're going to descend. يَحْبِطُ. So they're going to descend from the mountain to the ground. فَلَا يَجِدُونَ فِي الْأَرْضِ مَوْضِعَ الشِّبْرِ إِلَّا مَلَأَهُ زَحْمُهُ وَنَتْنَهُ. He said they're not going to find one shibr of the ground except there's going to be one of their dead bodies there. The whole earth. The whole earth, actually. Imagine that. The whole earth. All right. Did you find it? What do they say? شبرا إلى ملأه زحمهم ونتنهم فيرغب نبي الله عيسى وأصحابه إلى الله. So then they go back and they start making dua again. فيرسل الله طيرا كعناق البخت فتحملهم فتطرحهم. And he sends these large birds. And these birds, they pick up their bodies and they toss them like off into another place. So they carry their bodies off, little by little. All these birds come and they grab Ya'juj and Ma'juj and toss them off. All right, then he said after that, he said, ثُمَّ يُرْسِلُ اللَّهُ مَطَرًا إِلَّا لَا يَكُنْ مِنْهُ بَيْتٌ مَطَرٌ وَلَا وَبَرٌ فَيَغْسِلُ الْأَرْضَ حَتَّى يَتْرُكَهَا. And it's not going to leave any, it's going to be like this rain. It's going to come down and it's not going to leave anything. Like any of these types of houses are not going to be standing. Not going to be able to withstand the rain. He said, it's going to, فَيَغْسِلُ الْأَرْضَ, and it's going to completely clean the earth. حَتَّى يَتْرُكَهَا كَالزَّلَفَ. And until it's like the earth is going to be polished, like it's just going to be completely clean. ثُمَّ يُقَالُ لِلْأَرْضِ أَنْبِتِي ثَمَرَتِكِ وَرُدِّي بَرَكَتِكِ. So then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to command the earth. He said, return all of your fruits. And return with the blessing that you had from before. So the time of Adam alayhi salam. So that's why you see like, the fruits are going to be huge. Huge. So he said, وَرُدِّي بَرَكَتِكِ فِي يَوْمَئِذٍ تَأْكُلُ الْعِصَابَةُ مِنَ الرُّمَّانِ. He said a whole group of people are going to be eating one pomegranate. Because the pomegranate is going to be so big that one person, like a whole group of people will have to eat from it. It won't suffice, like one person won't be able to, just imagine that. He said, وَيَسْتَظِلُّونَ بِقَحْفِهَا. And they'll use the outer shell of the pomegranate for what?
That's cute.
No, as a shade.
Oh, shade.
Like they can sit. It's so big that they can sit underneath it. وَيَسْتَظِلُّونَ. وَيُبَارَكْ فِي الرُّسْلِ. All right, and in the milk that comes from the animals. He said, إِنَّ اللَّقْحَ مِنَ الْإِبْلِ لَتَكْفِي الْفِئَامِ مِنَ النَّاسِ. He said one milking of the camel will suffice for a whole large group of people. Whole large group of people. I mean, there's just so much milk, the camels. So he said, لَتَكْفِي الْفِئَامِ مِنَ النَّاسِ وَاللَّقْحَةَ مِنَ الْبَقَرِ لَتَكْفِي الْقَبِيلَ مِنَ النَّاسِ. And he said, and one milking of the cow would be sufficient for a whole tribe of people. So imagine, like, this is like a large group, and then that from the camel, because the camels have less milk, the cows have more milk, so they'll suffice a whole entire tribe. Imagine that, one cow for a whole tribe. Come on, you're from Yemen, you know how big tribes are, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy, actually, right? Yeah. So he said, من الناس واللقحة من الغنم لتكفي الفخذ من الناس. All right, and then the ghanim will suffice like a small, like a little group of people, smaller group of people. This hadith is where
And is it on that day?
أخرجه Muslim, and it says hadith number 2937.
Incorrect, like there will be no kuffar alive that day, right?
They're gone. Well, there's still going to be people on the earth because the qiyam, the sa'ah is not going to be established except for on the worst of all people. Whatever shaitan tells them to do, they're just going to do it. So it's the hour is not going to be established on people of Tawheed. The people of Tawheed are going to die. They're going to go. And then the earth is going to be left with the worst of all people. So imagine what we see today. Imagine, look at America and see what we see today. And because there's still people of Tawheed, and this will keeps this country from being destroyed. Could you imagine? Look at all the tornadoes, the hurricanes, and all the type of stuff that happens in America on a regular basis, right? All this destruction. And the only thing that keeps, that protection, keeps the whole total destruction, the people of Tawheed. But once there's no people of Tawheed left on the earth, then khalas, the earth is gone. It's over. It's done. The earth, the side is going to be established on the worst, the worst of people. They're going to be doing the things that we can see that this could happen, but they don't happen now, but we can see that this could happen in the future. Where the people are just performing, acts with women, fornication out in just the middle of the streets. Obviously we know, even in America where fornication is rampant everywhere. It's very hard to find a person who doesn't fornicate in America, right? But they don't just run out to the middle of the streets doing it. People still hide, they still hide with it, right?
You get made fun of if you don't fornicate.
Mm.
You get made fun of if you don't fornicate.
Yeah, but still, it's not to that point where the people just out in the middle of the streets, just doing it all over the place,
It's
So,
starting to change.
no, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, it's not, because everything's all this stuff is gonna come crashing down before it gets to that point. It's gonna get to that point at the destruction of this earth once the believers die. And the wind that's going to come and take the souls of the believer is going to come from where?
Sham.
No.
Medina.
Yemen.
From Yemen. Come on, you guys. Disappointment. Two Yemenis can't even answer this question. No.
From Adam, right?
Huh?
From Adam.
No, that's the fire that's going to come from Adam. It's going to be a fire that's going to drive the people to their place of congregation. The mahshar, yeah. So that's going to come out of Adam.
المحشر هو الشام.
Huh?
المحشر هو الشام.
المحشر هو Sham, yeah. So because Aden is on a volcano, you know that, right?
Right.
You know that.
No.
There's the city, the main area in Aden is called Crater. What is crater? Crater of a volcano. That's why they call it crater.
Oh, is it that big?
It's
hole
not
in the ground?
Arabic. Yeah, it's crater. It's a volcano. So when that fire comes out, it's going to drive everybody to the mahshar, to the place in the congregation in Sham. So yeah, that's the fire that comes out of Aden. Yeah. Any questions? So we stopped on 19, right? We stopped after 18.
Do you want them in order or no?
I don't care, actually, because we were about to leave anyway, so
I mean, you answered this multiple times,
don't ask it.
so you might like it. This is one of the answers you'll turn into like a holla.
And then, oh, man, what is it? I'm
There's
too
one.
tired for Muhammad, man. I spent 7 days eating Mexican food, man.
S&D.
It's not.
Sad Mexican. Does one have to follow a particular madhab?
I got a video on my YouTube channel, inshallah, where I spoke about that in detail. You can go. You have to scroll down and find the video, but it's there. It's talking about this exact issue. And we've talked about this too many times.
Someone says, if we go to Umrah/Hajj, is it okay to tell a few brothers that are closer to you than other brothers?
Again,
If we go to Umrah or Hajj or slash Hajj, is it okay to tell a few brothers that are closer to you than other brothers?
what do you mean? Tell them what?
Like you're going to go to Hajj or you're going to go to Umrah.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna try to do things, you only tell the people that are close to you. You know, you don't like to talk to people about things that you plan to do. You know, and if you do tell people things that you plan to do, you should limit the number of people that you tell. You know, like here, we were supposed to go to Chicago. Nobody would have known that we were going to Chicago until we popped up in Chicago. But now it's been canceled. But I mean, the whole point was like, you know, you don't know about it because we don't talk about it. You know, so these types of things, you move in silence anyways. If you're trying to do things, you know, the vast majority of people out here, you just got to understand that they don't want good for you. And it's not being pessimistic. It's, you know, I'm not trying to, you know, bring like this goth, you know, emo mentality to Islam. It's just the reality of human beings. I think the majority of the people, they want good for them, not for you. You know, so to go around and tell people things that you're doing, keep that stuff to yourself, akhi. That's the problem with this generation, akhi. They like to talk about every single thing that they do. They don't know how to keep their mouth shut. And that's why they can't get things done, akhi. People destroy stuff. So if you're trying to go on Hajj, you know, you got people that are close to you, talk to them. Say, I'm going to go, but other people, it's none of their business to know what you're doing, you know. You know, of course you want to tell people that you're close to because maybe, hey, you know, give me this book or give me this when you're over there. You got to get gifts for the people, you know. But
Two those for everyone.
and just bring back a double of something. Y'all portion this off amongst yourselves. A double is a big bottle of something.
Striving Slave says, should we choose to love our family member who's closer to the Sunnah versus the one that treats you the best, pleasing to nafs?
You love the person, whether that person is a family or not. The person is closer to the Sunnah, that's the person you love, regardless of that person's family or not.
I'll choose them over family any day.
Yeah, I love the people of the Sunnah more than I love my family. That doesn't mean that you don't give the family their rights, but we're talking about, see, you have a natural love, just like, you know, this is your mother. You're just naturally going to love her. You know, it's your mother, right? But then you have that love that you choose, right? That you know, not that you really choose. It's something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts in your heart. But there's reasons for why you love this person. It's like, because they're not just family. Even family, akhi, I mean, let me see. I would say about like 90% of my family, 80% of my family, they could die tomorrow, akhi, I wouldn't even flinch.
Yeah, me too.
And you wouldn't even hear me even say anything, akhi. I'd be like, my uncle died. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Let's read hadith. You know, I mean, there's honestly, you know, huh?
My cat's nephew died.
Yeah. So, but I mean, if I hear about one of the ulama that died, or somebody, you know, one of the big students of knowledge that died, yeah, akhi, that kills me, man. It hurts me because it's like you think of all these people that you wish would die, and they're still alive doing what they're doing, and then the people that these good people and they die. I mean, they're more beloved to me than my own family.
Even though, like, it's obviously Sheikh Ibn Baz died before I was born, I still get sad thinking of Ibn Uthaymeen, Ibn Baz, and Muqbil when they died. They still saddens me to like today. Like,
It was all within 2 years apart. There's Sheikh Al-Albani and Sheikh Ibn Baz, they both died in 99. And Sheikh Al-Uthaymeen and Sheikh Muqbil, they both died in 2001. It's all within 2 years.
Oh, I forgot to. MA says, if someone who shaves or trims their beard and is lecturing you about the Sunnah, should you listen or leave?
Take a mirror, put it in your pocket, and when he starts telling you, lecturing you about the Sunnah, you take out the mirror and be like, you see that? You see that?
You're on ending.
I mean, it depends on, you know, what is he lecturing you on? And, you know, you look at the hadith of Abi Hurairah radiallahu anhu with the sadaqah and shaitan. that wasn't shaitan, but it was I had a shayateen, but he was stealing from the sadaqah. And on the third night when he said, I'm taking you to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, okay, let me teach you something. That if you recite it, but still, even with that, there's the main thing is that shaitan, or one of the shayateen, told Abu Hurairah what? About reciting Ayat al-Kursi before he goes to bed. This is a protection from the shayateen. But did he just take the statement of shaitan? No. He went back and did tathabbut. He went back and asked and told the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam what happened. And then the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, Sadaqak wa huwa kadhub. He told you the truth, but he's a liar. He told you the truth about reciting Ayat al-Kursi before going to bed, but he's a liar. But he didn't just take the knowledge from him. So even if a person who's clearly going against the Sunnah, and he wants to lecture you on the Sunnah, I will still listen to him. But, take it with a grain of salt and go back and do tathabbut, because he might have something, some of these guys, you'd be surprised. Some of these guys, they might not be practicing it, but they learned it. They were like real hardcore back in the days. They might even have been like real students of knowledge, but they just got caught up in the dunya, and they still might have something beneficial to say. I want, so still listen to them, but take it with a grain of salt and go back and check and make sure that what you hear is correct. Yeah.
Do you know if one of the ulama said how that shaitan knew about reading Ayat al-Kursi before going to bed?
Are you going to tell me?
No, do you know? No, that's not your question.
No.
That's a question I had for like 2 years already.
I hope you find the answer. When you do, let me know. One more question, two more questions.
Driving Slave says, the hadith you referenced regarding state fairs and not doing our Eid celebrations where their festivals took place, festivals took place. Does this mean we can't convert churches to masjids?
No, because the thing is once the church gets converted to a masjid, it's a masjid now, it's not a church. But we're talking about going there and holding Jumu'ah in a church while it's still a church. That's the equivalent of, could you imagine that though? Could you imagine, say, okay, because we're renovating the masjid, next week we're going to have Jumu'ah across the street, over in the church across the street. That's the equivalent of you holding Eid at the fairgrounds or at a place where they have these concerts, where they have all these different things. These are their celebrations. These are their ayat. And the fair itself is an Eid. It's an Eid. This is where they celebrate that Eid. So now you go to the fairgrounds and you celebrate your Eid at the place where they celebrate their Eid. So no, it's not permissible. It's not.
Some quote-unquote Muslims will still go to the khutbah in church, even though there's a salib with a white person and they say that's Allah. And they still go.
One more question, we go.
Ahmed Farid says, is the left hand of shaitan in the hadith, do not eat and drink with the left because shaitan eat and drink with left, to be taken literal?
Yes, to be taken literal. We just mentioned the ayat, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said what? He said, إِنَّهُ لَقَوْلُ رَسُولٍ كَرِيمٍ وَمَا هُوَ بِقَوْلِ الشَّاعِرِ. He said, this is not a statement of the sha'ir. He's not a poet. He doesn't speak in metaphors. He doesn't speak like this. What the Prophet ﷺ said is what? It's revelation. It's truth. And truth is not metaphorical. It's not figurative. That's not truth. That's creative writing, right? That's when a person is trying to make poetry or try to make some type of piece of writing where he's trying to get some type of Nobel Prize in writing or whatever that. What do they get for literature? I don't know, some stupid prize, right? But the point is that no, he speaks directly. If he said that the shaitan eats with his right hand, he eats with his right hand. If there was anything other than the literal understanding of this hadith, who would have explained it? Your Imam of the Masjid in 2024 or the Prophet ﷺ himself? If there was any understanding where the Sahaba thought hey, is this literal or not literal, then they would have asked the Prophet ﷺ, right? They would have sought that knowledge. They would have asked him. Look at the hadith of the Dajjal, just to show you how precise the Sahaba were when they didn't understand things and when they would go to the Prophet and ask him. When the Dajjal comes out, the first day is going to be like what?
40 years.
It's going to be like a year. Awwal yawm kasana. All right, so the first day is going to be like a year. What did the Sahaba ask him?
How are we going to pray?
Yeah, they asked him, is it enough? Is that enough that we just prayed it 5 times, or do we have to? And he said no. اقدروا لها قدرها. That you're going to have to, you have to, like divide it and figure out how much that day. Like now we know we have clocks and watches and stuff like that, so we know 24 hours past. We know what time it is. And is this technology still going to exist in the time of the Dajjal? But we know that the technology itself is going to be gone by the time that the Dajjal comes out. So, but whatever, we'll be able to, we're still going to have farmers, we're still going to have people that know the time and the movement and all this stuff. So you have to break it up. It's going to be 1 year. The sun is going to go up and it's going to stay up for an entire year, and it's not going to set for a year. So then, but that's not 1 day. That's just 1 day of the sun being up. But we have 365 days or 360 days Islamically that we have to what? We have to figure out how we're going to pray. We have to figure this out on our own. But the Sahaba asked him this question. Is it literally, how we do this? Is it, how is it going to work? And he answered. So if they had any issues, those issues would have been brought up to the Prophet ﷺ. And nothing is left to the imagination. Nothing. Nothing in this deen is left for you to try to imagine and try to like, oh, well, it's figurative and, and no. It's not the speech of a poet. This is a speech, this is kalam Rabbil Alameen. In the deen of Yusuf, like we said it, the deen has been made easy for you. How is that going to be easy if he spoke in metaphors? Yeah, that would be so difficult to understand everything in this deen if that's the way he spoke. No, what's literal is literal. Shaitan eats with his yasar. That's it. That's that. What the shayateen, they eat. The jinn, they eat. We know that they eat because the Prophet also mentioned about the adam. Why don't we use the adam in the istinja? You use rocks, right? You use the rocks to wipe yourself with if you're out in the desert, but you're not allowed to use bone. Why? Because that's the ta'am of jinn. That's the food for the jinn. So khalas. How do they eat it? Do we see them eating it? No, but is it literally their food? Yes. Khalas. That's how it's meant to be taken until you have something otherwise that would explain, like I said, the Sahaba, if they didn't understand something, they would ask the Prophet ﷺ to understand it. Khalas. And that's that. If they didn't ask, that means they understood it based on what? The literal meaning, like that's it.
Like the shaitan also has, the Iblis has ذرية. أفتتخذونه وذريته أولياء من دوني وهم لكم عدو بئس للظالمين بدلا. Surah Al-Kahf.
Yeah, but they do. They get married. They have children, just like we do. استكثرت من الإنس من الإنس. استكثرت من الإنس. That you've increased tenfold over the humans. The jinn are way more than us. Way more than us. So Allah musta'an. But إلهنا سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. Now you can close it.